Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Nashville, Tennessee. Take a look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And yesterday we had snowflakes. I mean, these snowflakes were the size of like silver dollars. I mean, it was amazing. And today it's absolutely gorgeous. At any rate, some of you mentioned that one of the fish in my tank needed some buddies. And not uncommon for fish to thrive when they have more of their own kind in the tank. I certainly saw that with clown loaches. When I used to have clown loaches, they did much better in a group than they did by themselves. I went last week, or maybe it was about 2 weeks ago, to check on these fish, and they were all out of them, so I was out of luck. But I called earlier today, and lo and behold, they do have them. They have them in stock. So I'm going to get over there before they sell them out, and I suspect that they sell out pretty quickly. So let's go on and get over there to my favorite local fish store, the Aquatic Critter, and let's pick up some buddies for this one fish. So you can see here, it's a fish in this tank here. You can probably guess which one it is. Let's get over to the Aquatic Critter and pick them up some tank mates. So I drove a half hour to my favorite local fish store. Let's go inside, and I hope they have what I'm looking for. So we're all familiar with types of fish like these black tetras and other types of fish. Usually fish we find in community tanks that are they're just better in groups. And your head and tail lights, certain kinds of tetras. You can see lots of examples of them here at the store. Rummy nose are just really pretty with that striped tail and that bright red nose. Great schooling fish, always do better in groups and always should be kept in groups. This store is like a candy store for a fish keeper, and it's pretty dangerous. I always come in and watch my wallet. I mean, they've got like 4 or 5 big walls like these. Here's some of my favorite heaters, those big Eheims. But this would be a very easy place to spend a lot of money. Take a look at these electric blues that were in this large tank near the back of the store. For some reason, they were all congregating on the right side. I really don't know why. In a different tank, down a different aisle, they had some that were a little bit more mellowed out, and you can see how beautiful these electric blue cars are. Very tempting to pick up a Fusco. You know what if you've been following this channel, I love Fuscos, and these juvenile Fuscos were absolutely beautiful, both in color and their markings. I'm thinking about getting some algae, an algae crew. This spotted guy was something. Look at the size of these saltwater fish. That fish was a giant. That shark there is about maybe 4 feet long. Here's some flagtails, very, very pretty. Probably pushing 9 inches, maybe even bigger. Very pretty, as you can see. It'd be very easy to walk in here and leave a lot of money behind. And that's not even counting what's in this giant pond that they have near the front of the store. Look at the size of that knife fish. Love that guy. Those rays are just amazing. From something enormous to something very small. He had some nice puffers in today. These are some little figure 8s. The markings on the body were really pretty. Look at these guys, turquoise. Hadn't seen these before. They might have just come in. Again, very, very tempting. Very easy to start saying, okay, bag me up some of these. But what I came for were the geophagus. And they had them in here along with some rams. Real nice selection. But I wanted to get a couple more of those because I've heard they do better in groups. And I had one all by himself. Normally I don't show you the corals in stores. But the corals today, for some reason, I don't know why, they were just really, really popping. And it was like impossible for me to walk by this tank without capturing some of them on video for you. But look at the assortment. This is just what they would call a frag tank, or in the case of some of these, they're pretty mature corals, pretty large corals. Those are the frags back there, I guess. But look at these colors and patterns, both in the hard and the soft corals. Absolutely beautiful. I know that the inventory king, Paul, is really into corals. This part of the video is probably going to make his mouth water. Just absolutely beautiful. There were a lot of folks back here in this section looking at corals and buying them. And no wonder, they are just really, really pretty. That one's almost translucent. Very impressive. That was great. Got what I came for. Let's get these fish home, get them acclimated and in the tank, and I'm real happy with this trip. When I was younger, I had 4 kids that would rush to greet me when I'd get home. Now I've got 2 dogs, and they're always happy to see me. I always float my fish for anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour. You can see these fish were already showing some real nice color as they were they were getting temperature matched there. I am a drop and flopper here. I just simply match the temp and then run the water through a net so I don't include much of the aquarium water from the shop. I then leave the lights out and I let them kind of chill for a while without a lot of disturbance in a sort of a dimly lit tank. You can see they immediately congregated, the 3 similar species, the three of the same species. Later on that evening, I went ahead and turned the lights on, and you can see they all look well. They're all doing well. They all ate very, very aggressively, very actively when I dropped some flakes and some pellets into the tank. So these guys look great, and I just can't wait to watch them put on their color. If you're not familiar with this type of geophagus, this type of earth eater, look them up. The colors as adults are just absolutely breathtaking. Very, very pretty. So that concludes this update on the fish room, and I thank you very much for tuning in. We'll continue the conversation and provide more updates and preview of upcoming changes in this Saturday's Cichlids and Coffee live stream. It's at 10 o'clock Central Time, and I hope you can be there. Big shout out to some of the friends of the channel, such as Expert Matic, thank you to them for the filters in these tanks, and also to Elite Cichlids, who provided the plants that you see behind me. That's from Elite Cichlids. And a special shout out to James Largo, who has offered and agreed to be I guess you'd call a sponsor of sorts of the channel. And if you're wondering why I don't have a lot of African cichlids in this tank yet, I'm going to be getting some of those from James Largo, including a phoenix, and an OB that he calls a Skittles, and a few other very choice fish. So look for that in the future. All right, thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you on Saturday at Cichlids and Coffee, 10 a.m. Central Time. And until then, bye-bye.